Hello, Doctor Who fans. It's me, once again, the world's worst commentator, Doctor Who commentator, to provide you with my personal fan commentary on Doctor Who. Very belatedly, I'm well aware any of my subscribers who saw my previous video will know why. But nonetheless, a few disclaimers before we start. I'm not affiliated with Doctor Who in any way. I don't make any money off of this, it's something I purely do for fun. And I always have a camera pointed at me as opposed to an actual screen, an actual TV screen, showing the real video, so the BBC can't sue me for copyright, which is quite apt. In many ways, I even once considered a way I might have been able to improve the sound quality, but then I realised, frankly, if I did improve the sound quality, that might trigger the thing on YouTube that says you are in breach of copyright, so I'd rather not risk that. Okay. So, without further ado, Robot of Sherwood, which we all know actually had to have a scene cut from it, and I am going to get into that because I really think it was unnecessary. Well, not so much that it was unnecessary, but there's so much other stuff they should have cut, given the reason they cut a scene.
Take a punt.
Right.
Your choice.
So,
wherever, whenever, anywhere in time and space.
There we go.
Well,
Doctor on his chalkboards.
there is.
I have to wonder, is he actually trying to work something out there? Is he trying to find out how to get back to
What
Gallifrey?
will you say?
Try me.
You'll say he's made up that there is no such thing.
Go on.
It's Robin Hood.
He is made up.
Yeah. I love that story. I've always loved it ever since I was little.
Are there multiple stories?
The heroic outlaw who robs from the rich and gives to the poor.
Yeah.
He's made up. There's no such thing.
You see?
Old-fashioned heroes only exist in old-fashioned storybooks, Clara.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah, you. You stop bad things happening every minute of every day. That sounds pretty heroic to me.
It's not that old-fashioned.
Just passing the time. Hey, what about Mars?
What?
The Ice Warrior hives.
You said it was my choice.
All the
Exactly.
tricks and arrows of the half-light. Those girls can hold their drink.
Doctor.
I've tracked up 15 different levels of reality simultaneously. I think I've got a Polaroid somewhere.
Doctor! My choice.
Is that meant to be dirty or something?
Show me.
Very well. Earth, England, Sherwood Forest, 1190 AD.
Oh, ish. I was about to say, how does he get the right... How does he know the right year before... but ish, I missed that part in the original book. Yes, so... Anyway. Doesn't matter. So, there we go. Beautiful forest.
No damsels in distress, no pretty castles, no such thing.
Sorry, no, I'm going out of shot here, but I was... Robin Hood does exist. I was just going because there was a bit of continuity, interesting continuity bit.
You called?
Yeah, we'll get through the trailers here. Yes, here we go. Yeah. If anyone who saw the spin-off series on Disney XD, K9, the K9 Mark II did actually claim to have in fact met the original Robin Hood, effectively indicating within the Doctor Who series that Robin Hood did actually exist. So it's not too odd what they did there.
You're very, very nicely done with the box, sir. So I saw a Turk perform something very similar at Nottingham Fair.
Heals very quickly.
It's a trick with mirrors, no doubt.
A trick.
A good jest.
This is not a trick, this is a target.
Whatever it is, you bony rascal, I'm afraid I must relieve you of it.
It's my property, that's what it is.
One thing wrong there.
Well, don't you know all?
Anyone who's seen
property
QI,
is theft.
no, Robin Hood
But
did
Robin
not
Hood
actually
cannot
wear
share
green
his
tights, he
time
wore
anything.
red tights.
Sir, but I'm never that. Robin Hood laughs in the face of all.
And do people ever punch you in the face when you do that?
Not as yet.
Lucky I'm here then, isn't it?
Might be a.
I am certainly curious about that. I've not.
What do you
Just trying to
reckon,
figure out
Doctor?
his. Trying to find his name. Sorry, I should do my homework, but I never do.
Are there any more?
What's that?
No.
Tom Riley.
Oh my god.
I just want to say it. I'm just thinking, where have I seen him before? Because I'm sure I've seen him somewhere.
That is not Robin Hood.
It's very familiar.
Who, sir, is about to relieve you of your magic box?
Oh, come on, you wouldn't know how to use it.
Nobody, sir.
Okay, door's open. Thought it was closed.
Well, then draw your sword and prove your words.
I have no sword.
Exactly.
I don't need a sword. Because I am the Doctor.
The door's closed now.
Is my spoon. Hunger!
I did see that in some leaked images. But obviously, there's always leaked images, and there was someone who was on either on set or just passing through. I don't know, but there was some photos taken and saw that. It's very funny.
You're amazing.
Had some experience. Richard the Lionheart. Scarlet de Bergerac. And a friend. He had the most enormous ego.
Takes one to know one.
Oh, you.
Oh, that's a horrid thing to do. I think it's fair to say he won.
Like I said, my box.
Doctor?
Oh, come on, you already won. What was the point of that?
In the name of all that's holy, take our monies, take our treasure, but spare my ward.
Please do not fuss, all will be well.
Okay, just remember, another bit of trivia, because I was reading, here.
Or are you as milk-livered as your name suggests, Master Quail?
Take me. Spare this dear child.
Take you. A lardy
I can't find the actual continuity bit, but I was reading earlier.
Labor we
It's a very interesting thing.
Labor and gold, not old men and their worthless
The
baubles.
ITV did in fact air a Robin Hood TV
You
series,
come to Sherwood, are we?
which was up against Doctor Who.
You may also prove useful. Bring
The original series I'm talking here.
Days are numbered, you cur.
As Ben Miller as the sheriff.
You shall live to regret that. Actually, no. You won't.
There was no blood on that sword. I mean, he's wiping it off. There was clearly no blood on that sword.
Let me introduce you to my men.
This is Will Scarlet. He is a cheeky rogue with a good sword arm and a slippery tongue.
My lady. What do you want with my hair?
Well, it's realistic, I'll give you that.
And this is Friar Tuck, aptly named for the amount of grub he tucks into. You skinny blackguard!
What are you doing?
This isn't a real sandal.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes, it is.
This is Alan Dale. He's a master of the lute.
I do love that, but just because it is so the Doctor.
Fair stranger, you are welcome here in Sherwood's bonny glade. Ow!
Sorry. Blood analysis. Oh, those diseases. If you were real, you'd be dead in 6 months.
I am real.
Aye.
This is John Little, called Little John. He's my loyal companion in many an adventure.
Who's that supposed to be, then?
Oh, I cannot believe this. You really are Robin Hood and his merry men.
Aye.
But why didn't they just reunite the cast of
What say you, lads?
Robin Hood? I mean, the BBC did make a Robin Hood series, which was frankly frankly, I did see it. I think it was just simply to
Are you all
fill the gap
simple
between
or
Doctor
something?
Who.
I'm going to need a sample.
And
Excuse me.
yeah, frankly, I think they may have just been better to reunite the cast and do a crossover.
Perhaps that much is obvious. Could be a theme park from the future. Or we might be inside a miniscope.
Ah, now that is a reference
miniscope,
to
yes, of course,
Carnival
why
of
not?
Monsters.
Your friend seems not quite of the real world.
No, he's not really. Not most of the time. Dark days.
My lady?
You've said that these were dark days. What did you mean?
King Richard is away on crusade, my lady. His tyrant of a brother rules instead.
And the sheriff, because there is a sheriff, right?
Aye. 'Tis indeed this jackal of the princes who seeks to oppress us forevermore.
Or 6 months
No,
in
it
your
says
case.
King Richard, he's on Crusade, yes, and that's when, I want to say King John or Prince John?
Beauty here.
Why are you so sad?
Yeah, Prince, he's talking about Prince John, but as again, another little
The doctor's right.
bit of continuity, the Fifth Doctor did in fact meet an android named Chameleon who was masquerading as King John.
Loxley.
Lee, yes.
Yes. Sorry, do go on.
I had my lands and titles stripped from me. I dared to speak out against Prince John, but I've lost the thing most dear to me.
What was she called?
You already know.
Quick. How does the doctor stand it?
Marion?
You know.
Yes.
Okay, she
I
cannot
have
be
always known
that
her.
stupid.
Who told me that I must stand up and be counted? But I was afraid. Now, this green canopy is my palace, and the rough ground my feather bed. Yeah, maybe one day I will return home, but until that day, it is beholden on me to be the man Marion wanted, to be a hero to those this tyrant sheriff slaughters.
What time is it, Mr. Hurd?
Somewhat afternoon.
Suppose they don't have sundials then.
Time of year. What season?
Oh,
of
Dame Autumn
course.
has draped her mellow skirts about the forest, Doctor. The time of mists and harvests approaches.
Yeah, oh, very poetic. But it's very green hereabouts, though, isn't it? Like I said, very sunny.
So?
Have you been to Nottingham?
Climate change?
To
Not
live
at
life?
that point.
You must excuse me.
It's obviously a word he doesn't
has issued
understand.
a proclamation, and tomorrow there is to be a contest to find the best archer in the land and the bounty. It's an arrow made of pure gold.
No, don't go. It's a trap.
Now again, something to note, that is a genuine Robin
Find
Hood
the
story.
best archer in the land. There is no contest.
Right! That isn't even funny. That was bantering. I am totally against bantering.
How can you
There
be
is
so
so
sure he is not
much
the real thing?
of Matt Smith in
Because he can't
him.
be.
When did you stop believing in everything?
When did you start believing in impossible heroes?
Don't you know?
Oh, come on. So cheesy.
In a way, it's rather sweet.
There you go, the apple's real. And there's the castle. I just love when they want to make something historical and they
For the golden
recreate
arrow.
the
After
ruins.
10 rounds, the battle is betwixt
I mean, I know that's a genuine castle and everything, but still, CGI could have done it up a bit.
and the stranger known as Tom the Tinker.
Perhaps not such a stranger after all.
Take your
Why?
places.
My mum liked this episode, I have no idea why.
Shall we make the contest a little more interesting, my lord? Targets seem a little close. What say you? Another 20 paces? Why not?
See, even has black arrows. I mean, the villain never thinks he's the villain.
Now, Tinker, let us see thy true face.
Wow.
He has split the arrow. Truly, he is the finest archer in all England. Come
Technically,
forward, Tinker,
surely
and
that's
claim
just
your prize.
one apiece. No, just 3 apiece.
For a surprise, isn't he?
I'm the doctor. My skills as a bowman speak for themselves. I claim my reward. A mere bauble. I want something else. Name it. Enlightenment.
Enlightened. Like when you met Turlo? See, it's just getting silly.
This is getting silly.
Okay, I completely forgot you actually said that.
Fascinating.
Seize him!
Well, it's not that surprising.
What are you doing? Put that down!
I'm fine. I take your 7 practical taekwondo.
Don't worry, Doctor.
She talked too fast for me to get that. All I got was taekwondo, and why on earth would she learn that?
Robin Hood!
See, again, someone want to highlight because so much parts get cut off these people. It doesn't really make any difference. Seems like there's a difference to me.
somewhere.
Take them! Kill the rest! Kill them all!
The Wilhelm scream! So, anyone who's... If you see any major films, you'll have heard the Wilhelm scream. And he just did that. He obviously was taking that from John Burt. Because that was very much a John Burt thing.
Because I find out anybody's plans. Get yourself captured.
But yeah, the Wilhelm scream. A lot of films like Star Wars, a few of the Lord of the Rings films, they use that scream. It's a very famous scream. But it's usually reserved for films. It's quite interesting they use it here.
Here, let me help you.
Thank you. Lady.
What are you? Gargoyle, what are you?
Not exactly.
He only needs to rest. We all need to rest.
Analysis shows that peasant creature is spent.
No, no, please.
Usefulness expired.
No! No!
Okay, they're not actually showing him disintegrate, but in the last episode, we saw that. In the last episode, we saw the whole thing. We saw that Dalek antibody disintegrate someone completely.
Splendid. In chains.
Yep.
Trussed up like turkey cocks. That's thanks to your friend.
Shut it, Hoodie. I saved your life.
I like that hoodie.
I had the situation well in hand.
Long-haired Ninny versus Robot Killer Knights. Where would I put my money?
If you had not betrayed me, I would have been triumphant.
You would have been a little puff of smoke and ashes.
Ah!
You'd have been floating around in tiny little laughing bits in people's goblets.
Balderdash! Ha!
Oh, right, here we go. It's laughing time.
Well, you amuse me, grey old man.
God! He's laughing again. You can't keep me locked up with a laughing person.
I find that quite funny. Do you know, I feel another laugh coming on.
I don't know where I've seen Tom Riley from, but it's very funny.
Execute me
No,
now.
I didn't execute the old fool.
No, hang on. Execute him.
I do not fear death. So execute away!
Execute him. I'd like to see if his head keeps laughing when you chop it out.
Oh, Robin Hood always laughs in the face of death.
Just rolling around the floor laughing. I would pay good money to see that.
Yeah, surely that in itself is insulting. The whole concept of having his head chopped off and rolling around the floor laughing.
Do either of you understand in any way at all that there isn't actually a God out there?
I did it.
No, you didn't.
I said, shut up. A doctor and a Robin Hood locked up in a cell. Is this seriously the best that you can do? You're determined to starve to death in here, squabbling.
But I'll tell you one thing. I'd last a lot longer than this desiccated man crone.
Really?
Really?
Well, you know what? I think you'll find I have a certain genetic advantage.
It is not a competition about who can die slower.
Definitely would be me, though, wouldn't it?
There was supposed to be a plan. Do either of you two have a plan?
Yes.
Yeah, of course I have a plan.
I too have a plan.
Okay, Robin, you first.
Why him?
Doctor, shut up. Robin, your plan.
I am biding my time.
Thank you, Prince of Thieves. Last of the Time Lords.
Yes, I have a plan.
Can you explain your plan without using the word sonic screwdriver? Because you might have forgotten the Sheriff of Nottingham has taken your screwdriver, just saying. So it's a screwdriver.
Right, okay, well, let's hear Robin's plan.
For God's sake.
See?
He already said his plan.
There was a guard listening the whole time. I knew it.
The sheriff himself commanded me to listen, to find out which of you is the true ringleader.
So he
See,
can do the
know where this is
interrogation.
going.
Very wise.
Excellent. He will get nothing from me.
No. He will get nothing from me because interrogation, that's when I always turn the tables. You see, that's my plan.
Just hurry up and take me to him.
No, chop, come on.
Seriously.
No.
What are you doing?
Don't be
Isn't it obvious? This is what happens when you have two great men in the same room.
This is a thing of beauty indeed.
I will feed a family for a 12-month when melted down.
Tonight we rest. But tomorrow we must draw up plans to rescue Robin. We shall soon see how those mechanicals feel about the taste of Nottingham steel. Lord forgive me.
Strange, though, is it not?
What?
All this looting that the sheriff is doing, and yet it is only ever gold that he takes. Pearls, rubies, all the precious jewels of the realm seem no consequence to him. Only gold. Poor Robin and the stranger lay
Oh, shut up.
in the dungeon all the livelong day. The merry men might pine away on a sherwood morning.
And I was looking on my computer. Apparently, there is a Doctor has encountered a ship that needed to be repaired by using gold before, but it was only. But what I looked at was it's only been in the audio mention. I'm sure there must have been a ship that was powered by gold before. I can't think of it on the top of my head.
Eat, my lady. Eat. Let it not be said that the Sheriff of Nottingham is a...
Although it's worth noting in terms of the TV series, there is an episode, there has been an episode before in which the ship has been disguised as a castle, and that episode is the state of decay.
Refreshingly direct.
You can take the girl out of Blackpool.
Taken from your friend's strange tunic. An intriguing gallimaufry,
Why on earth does he keep sandwiches?
including this wand.
It's not a wand, it's a
Evidently
screwdriver.
a thing of awesome power. Tell me, are you from beyond the stars?
You're the one with the robot armor. You tell me.
I'm sorry.
Moan. Beat your breasts. Moan. Groan as though 20 devils possessed your guts.
What for?
So as to attract the attention of that gargoyle face guard.
It's your plan, humor.
No. Well, it won't work.
Why?
Oh, because you are clearly more advanced in years and you have a sickly aspect to you. You're as pale as milk. It's the way with Scots. They're strangers to vegetables.
I'm not moaning. You moan.
Fine, if you want something doing. Can I rely on you to do the rest?
Yes, another time.
What is this?
How does he know what to do?
No business of yours, Carr. Speak up. I can't hear you.
What ails him?
None of your business.
I said, what ails him?
Well, if you must know, he's having a nervous breakdown.
Or what?
He's like this whenever he's in any kind of danger. He just can't seem to cope. He gets so afraid. He goes into a kind of fit. I honestly believe that he may die of sheer fright like some tiny, shivering little mouse. I think he soiled himself.
It'll save us the trouble of executing him.
And what will happen to the reward?
Reward?
Oh, God, I shouldn't have said that.
Tell me.
God, he's stupid.
He carries a vital message. The prince has promised a bounty.
A big one.
An enormous one.
What's that? Say again.
Come closer. Your breath stinks like a serpent. Has anyone ever told you that?
Soiled myself. Did you? That's getting into character. Okay, keys. I'll get them. No, I'll get them. I'll get them. I'll get them. That's fine. No,
Well, they can't even agree with that.
I'll get them. Well, there is a bright side. Watch it. Glad I didn't see that. But enough
I actually can't remember how they got out of that.
of tawdry matters. Let us talk of softer, sweeter things.
Ah, good, yes. I was hoping we'd get round to that.
You will?
For I have known I was destined to draw the eye of a great and powerful man for a long time, ever since I saw those
Stroke the ego.
mysterious lights in the sky.
You saw them too.
And those strange mechanical men with their promises.
I do have experienced this.
Really? Well, I would never have guessed. Tell me your story.
Tell me yours.
Oh, no. But you have to go first.
Why so?
Because great men always proceed.
Oh, such an ego.
You have a point.
Your story, then.
Once upon a time, there was a brave and clever and handsome man.
I can almost picture him. Don't even have to close my eyes.
Unappreciated by his royal master.
Prince John.
The very same.
Then came the lights in the sky and everything changed.
The skyship came to Earth in a fury.
He always say skyship.
I'd almost call it a crash.
Yet I don't find out to believe that word even exists for.
Bedight with twinkling lights and miracles beyond imagining.
The most beautiful thing the brave and handsome man had ever seen.
And I suppose the mechanical men saw you as their natural leader.
It was I, and I alone, to whom the mechanical men within imparted their secrets.
Did more
Shortly
than
I
that.
shall be the most powerful man in the realm. King, and all but name, for Nottingham is not enough.
It isn't?
After this derby.
Right.
Then Lincoln. And after Lincoln,
Works up.
the world!
Aye. The world? How can you be the world?
First the blacksmith's forge.
So as to remove our chains.
No. So I can knock up an ornamental plant stand. Of course it's so we can get rid of our chains. I don't want to be manacled to you all night.
Yeah, have they got out of that?
Please don't do that.
Ornamental plant stand.
It's not even that funny.
An amusing fellow, Doctor.
Oh, Doc, can you just stop? You'll give yourself a hernia.
What are you hanging around here for, then, Your Majesty? Why are you bothering to squeeze pips out of peasants if you've got a skyship on standby?
Enough questions. I'm impatient to hear your story.
Oh,
This is an
but
obvious.
I do not have one. I was lying.
Lying.
Yeah.
Do you not have that word?
It's so much better at sharing information if they think the other person has already got it.
Oh, that's very clever.
Thank you.
Not that clever.
You'll do very well.
For what?
Doesn't every king require a consort?
Right, you do that again, and you'll regret that.
Ugh, he's disgusting. A big door.
At last, something real. No more fairy tales.
What is this place?
A spaceship. More 29th century than 12th. Databanks. 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 Where was the ship
29th
headed?
century again. That's interesting.
The promised land again.
Two robotic ships from the 29th century.
Disguised itself as a 12th century castle. Emerges into
Yeah,
the
sorry,
town
robot
shop.
ships, 29th century.
Tries to keep a low profile.
Both looking for the promised land. Is that just robots?
That
Are they the
explains
same
robot
robots?
lights. But the engines.
I genuinely don't know.
damaged. They're leaking radiation into the local atmosphere, creating a temporary climate of stagnant.
And I am a bit curious. Is the promised land supposed to be Gallifrey?
It's too sunny. It's too green. And there is even an evil sheriff to oppress the locals. This explains everything. Even you.
It does.
Well, what does every oppressed peasant workforce need? The illusion of hope. Some silly story to get them through the day, lull them into docility, and keep them working. Ship's databanks. Full of every myth and legend you could hope for.
Sort of
including
makes sense.
Robin Hood.
See, red tights. Ah, Patrick Troughton.
Isn't it time you came clean with me? You're not real and you know it. Look at you. Perfect eyes, perfect teeth. Nobody has a jawline like that. You're as much a part of what is happening here as the sheriff and his metal knights. You're a robot.
You dare to accuse me of collusion with that villain, the sheriff?
I dare.
You false-tongued knave! I should have skewered you when I had the chance.
I would like to see you try.
Doctor, you did scan the blood of one of his merry men.
Oh, yeah.
Surrender, outlaw!
Very good. Kill him.
Kill Robin Hood!
You can drop all that stuff now, Sheriff.
Doctor?
He is not what you think he is. This is all play acting.
We can't just let them kill him!
You're not fooling anyone, Sheriff.
What the hell are you doing?
Surviving.
That's desperate.
Yeah, sorry about the girl. Such a pretty thing. What a queen she would have made.
There's nothing else to highlight what a villain I am. They're alive.
Stop pretending. You and your fancy robots. I get it. I understand.
Oh, so you too know my plans.
You and your robots plundering the surrounding countryside for all it's worth. Gold. Of course. Gold. You are creating a matrix of gold to repair the engine circuitry.
This is the scheme the mechanicals have devised. Soon this skyship will depart. Destination?
It's not too bizarre.
London.
All those interesting sides. Quite a lot of circuitry does involve a bit of gold.
Place as
Well, I say a lot of circuitry, a bit of gold.
this sceptred
Let's say we do all. Every one of us owns a bit of gold in some sense, and by which I mean our mobile phones. The circuitry, mobile phones, does in fact contain gold.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It'll never make orbit.
No.
Wow. That's the entrance. Building on power.
That's not good.
Stupid sheriff. My God, give your stupid face. Who are you looking at?
Well, you, obviously.
Hi.
The time for games is over.
Wow.
I think I understand you. The sheriff's using the gold to replace something.
That's the principle. But he's a moron. If he tries to fly a ship, he'll explode and wipe out half the country. What we need is a little riot. Time to reflect on lasers and gold. Spread the word.
You will tell me everything this doctor knows.
That's a
about
very cryptic
Robin
message.
Hood and his merry men.
What is this? Why are you interrogating me?
And then you will tell me exactly who this doctor is and what are his plans.
So he's now very convinced that he's not real.
You are fit for labor. Stand aside while this peasant unit is freed.
I'm afraid you're a little late.
Explain.
I'm already free!
That was clever. See, right there! Another head blown right off! Okay, first one to get blown off, but still.
Mine. Mine. Mine.
Engine capacity at 75%.
Okay, if he has a paper parchment, why...
Who would
Well, he has a screen, rather, why isn't there a paper parchment? He doesn't grasp what robots are, does he?
Everyone! The last one!
That all took a while to finally reflect properly.
Out! Out! Everyone, quickly, get out! Quickly!
You've saved us all, clever one. Thank you.
Engine capacity at 82%.
You are indeed an ingenious fellow, Doctor.
Yes, but a
You
bit stupid
really
at the same
think
time.
your peasants' revolt can stop me?
I'd rather think you're the revolting one around here. I'm bantering. Listen to me. You don't have enough gold content to seal the engine breach. If you try and take off, you will wipe out half of England.
Liar! From my sky vessel I shall rule omnipotent.
You
Well,
pudding-headed primitive.
he cannot
Shut
even
down
sacrifice the gold around his
What you're doing
neck.
will alter the course of history.
I sincerely hope so. I wouldn't be bothering.
Listen to me. It doesn't have to end like this. Shut it all down. Return Clara to me and I'll do what I
I
can.
don't have Clara.
Robin's one of yours.
What did you say?
He's one of your tin-headed puppets just like these brutes here.
Robin Hood is not one of mine.
Of course he is. He's a robot created by your mechanical mates
Why would they do that?
to pacify the locals. Give them false hope he's the opiate of the masses.
Why would we create an enemy to fight us? What sense would that make? That would be a terrible idea.
Yes. Yes, it would. Yes, that'd be a rubbish idea.
I love how that
Did you do
pen
that?
drops.
But he can't be. He's not real. He's a legend.
Too kind. And this legend does not come alone.
Yeah, could have had the Merry Man, but he brought just Clara.
You alright? Good.
They were surprisingly vertical.
My men are taking the castle. Now I am going to take you. This one's all mine. What do you say, outlaw? A final reckoning?
Oh, yes.
Right, so as I was talking about here, this is worth pointing. During this entire fight scene, there is actually a scene that the BBC had to cut because of, well, everyone knows the whole thing about that reporter who's had his head cut off. Obviously a horrible situation. But there was a shot within this where Robin actually cuts the sheriff's head off.
Well, everyone should have
later the sheriff's head starts talking, and this is where we realise the sheriff is a robot. Eventually, the body gets up, threatens Clara, putting his sword to her neck. Robin then throws the head back to the sheriff. He puts his head back on, the fight continues. I'm hoping, I'm so hoping that this will eventually be included in the DVD, or re-included in the DVD rather, because it's such an, because people were quite irritated by that. I am, and I think it's a very important part that. Well, as for why the sheriff was a robot, by the way, it's because the sky ship crashed on him, and they rebuilt him. Using the Doctor's technique. But again, frankly, all that was quite important because they said it was 48. Capacity was at 48%. Now that he's gone in, that's got a lot bigger, probably.
Sorry, was that showing off?
That was amazing.
Run! Come on, run!
Right, see, there's the only reference we have to suggest that he's a robot. But that's been taken out. No, the very minute. Why? Where were they?
It's never gonna make it. Not enough gold will never make it into orbit. Where is it? Where did it go?
Where did what go?
The golden arrow.
Chuck!
You took it?
Of course we did. We're robbers.
I love you, boys.
Doctor, what are you suggesting?
Golden arrow. Might just be enough gold content to get the ship into orbit and out of harm's way.
Well, it has to be you. My arm is injured.
You're good at this. I saw you. You won the tournament.
I cheated. I made a special arrow with a homing
Oh,
device.
brilliant. Right, let me have a go.
You do taekwondo? That's not the same thing as
My
this.
friends,
Surely we can manage it together.
Engine capacity at 83%.
Again, very cheesy.
Insufficient power to achieve escape velocity.
Interesting thing to note. When they actually did film it, it was rather anticlimactic because something went wrong
Maximum power surge.
with the firing, and it just rather anticlimactically when he fired, just slipped like that. So it was fixed. It was fixed with CGI.
Engines critical. Engines critical.
Even the close-up of Robin where he lets go was fixed with CGI. Dr. Sen looks disappointed that the ship actually did explode.
give it a rest, Anna.
Still not keen on the laughing thing. I'm gonna miss you.
So of course, this is the ending. All happy goodbyes.
Whoever he
All
is,
sad goodbyes.
he is a very lucky man.
Marion is very lucky too.
I fear not.
Don't give up. Not ever. Not for one single day. Be safe if you can be, but always be amazing.
Nice thing to say.
Goodbye, Robin Hood.
Goodbye, Clara Oswald.
So we did get the full name.
So, is it true, Doctor,
Is what?
that in the future I am forgotten as a real man? I am but a legend.
I'm afraid it is.
Good. History is a burden. Stories can make us fly.
I'm still having a little trouble believing yours, I'm afraid.
Is it so hard to credit? That a man
Certainly an
born with
interesting
wealth
way
and
to
privilege should find the
leave
time to
it
be
like
oppressed
that.
and weak too much to bear.
I know.
Until one night he is moved to steal a TARDIS.
Sorry,
Fly among the stars, fighting the good fight.
I talked over that. They've added something into the continuity there.
She should not have told you any of that.
It actually mentions how he was born into wealth and privilege. Now,
Story
again,
she could hardly
that
stop
is
herself.
not something we heard before. That is quite
You are her
interesting.
hero, I think.
I'm not a hero.
It's an interesting little
Well, neither am I.
bit to add to the continuity.
But if we both keep pretending to be, perhaps others will be heroes in our name. Perhaps we will both be stories.
It actually gives an even
And
greater
those
reason
stories
That's
never
why the
end.
Time Lords were so angry with him. If he came from a noble family.
Goodbye, Doctor. Time Lord of Gallifrey.
Goodbye, Robin Hood, Earl of Locksley.
And remember, Doctor, I'm just as real as you are.
That is a lot of very interesting wordplay there.
Admit it. You like him.
Well, leaving him a present, aren't I?
Oh, it was Marion. Why on earth was she living in that
I found you at last.
burnt out home? Called her home.
Thank you, Doctor!
Yep, that's how you celebrate. Waste some arrow. Okay, next time.
In the mirror, or the corner of your eye.
I'm a bit confused. Is that
What's that
Danny?
footstep following, but never passing by?
Certainly going to be an interesting
Perhaps
episode.
they're always waiting. Perhaps when we're all dead, out they'll come a slithering from underneath the bed.
Something out of horror films there. Right, so I have been Doctor Who Commentator. Thanks for watching. I also have an alternative channel known as Bakora23. I keep that separate because it talks about very serious topics which you really don't need to hear for a commentator about television. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. Certainly talked a bit more in this one. I hope to get this up soon. Goodbye.